Pivot trading. So within the next 20 minutes, we're going to cover that.
Okay.
So I'll mute your audio. When I need you to talk, you will mute it. So the formula for pivot trading is you add a high plus low plus close. You have your total. Then you do your total. You divide the total by 3. Okay. So that's your pivot value. So this is the formula. The formula for pivot. So that's the formula. Just trying to put down these basic informations. That's the formula. So the pivot values you watch out for. Pivot values you watch out for are the monthly, weekly, daily. So now pivot point or price, pivot price refers to turning points in the market. So pivot values are generated from candlestick Can you see the information I'm dropping?
Yeah, I'm seeing them.
So this is just a simple approach to
Okay.
So just having all this information at the back of your mind, we're going to use Euro USD to calculate candlestick. We're going to quickly use Euro USD. So now going down to Euro USD, that's very, very familiar. On the Euro USD, during the weekend, this candle, or during the weekend, it's as last month, because this is a new month, this candle has not formed. So let's also include that information to what we have. Back to our whiteboard. Let's include the information.
Okay.
The pivot values are best generated during weekends. So these are the basic informations you're going to work with. So back to the chart. And pivot trading is applicable to all charts. It's an institutional style of trading. So major institutions do use it to trade. Very, very a very unique approach, which if you stick to the rules, is a worthwhile. So let me go quickly. Now to calculate the monthly pivot, I told you that this candle never existed last week.
Yeah.
So you're going to focus on getting the pivot for this candle. Hmm? So what you
Yeah.
do is to use your crosshair. This tool is known as your crosshair, either on your mobile device or on your. So you move to the particular candle you want to calculate the value. So while you are calculating that, you look at this document. You can clearly look at this guy gives you digits. So I click on my crosshair. You see, as my crosshair moves, those values are changing, right?
Yes, sir.
So those values are changing. As I move from candle to
Yeah.
candle, those values are changing. So let me clear the screen. So I move to this candle. So what I do is I quickly document those values. You are seeing the date, you see the time, then you see value for O, value for H, value for L, and value for C.
I'm going to
Okay,
see.
value for
Yeah.
V. But what we need is value for HLC, that's high, low, close.
Yeah.
So those ones are the value that we actually need. So what you do is to get those values. So the high value from there is 1.4472. The low is 1.11752. Close is 1.12168. Right? So quickly,
Okay.
um,
Sorry, please, can you repeat the values again? Because my screen is small, so I can't really see the exact figures.
okay.
Yeah.
And the major stuff you beckon on is try to
The
look at
formula.
this. Yes, the formula one. Then try to look at where you will see the values. For a mobile device,
Yeah.
it's at the top left, but for your laptop,
Yes.
it's here. So once you've known where to see the values, then
Okay. I can go back to it and
yes, you
get
can
it
go
again.
back to generate the values. So what you have to confirm is if you're having the values I have. But you know that the charts of different
Yeah.
brokers have slight differences in their price.
Okay.
Your broker and my broker can have 3 pip difference, 2 pip difference. So sometimes when you're seeing 15 pip difference or maybe 17 pip difference, that means one of the brokers is actually manipulating. It's actually manipulative. So there should be a
Okay.
difference of 5 pip, 7 pips at at maximum.
Okay.
So but with the crosshair, once you put the crosshair on any of the candles, you start seeing those values. So when you pick the crosshair on your mobile phone and start going through the candles, the values will start changing. So if I put it here, which is that of last month, the candle for last month, because if we were into the weekend, which was the end of last month, at the close of the market, we will not be able to see this new candle. We'll just be at this old one. So since I want now that my crosshair is on this candle, I can see the value for H, L, and C. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
There's a value for O, V. We don't need those values. We need for H, L, and C. And I'm
Let's see. Yeah.
taking those values. So if you can see through your screen, okay, but if you cannot see it, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put the values on the whiteboard so that whenever you refer back to the video, you can be able to cross-check back.
Okay.
So now you're looking at pivot for Euro USD. Can we now say monthly pivot is equal to that's the previous. I need to just try to control your noise. Afterwards,
Okay. I should mute it.
you can mute your audio. So now we already know our formula. Here is our formula: high, low, close. They will divide by 3. Then you can calculate the monthly value the pivot value for monthly, weekly, and daily. So now for the monthly, we have for our high, we have 1.4472. That's for 1.4472. That's for my own broker. 1.11752 plus 1.12168. So we're going to use our calculator to add up those values. So this is our calculator. So we say 1.4472 plus 1.11752.
Sorry, sir. The number of digits for the high is not the same as the one for low and close. Is it supposed to be so?
If they're not the same, that means the actual last value may be zero. So,
Okay.
but you can decide to maintain either four decimal places or five
Okay.
decimal places.
Or five.
It's personal.
Okay.
It's personal. So you will still end up with same answer or very close answer, which are not far-fetched. So this is the addition for the 3. So next thing I do is to divide by 3, right? As we said. Now this value we have here becomes our monthly pivot. Can you hear me? The value there becomes our monthly pivot. So we take note of that. That's our monthly pivot. Then we go to our weekly chart. So you go to your weekly chart. This is the weekly chart. Click on the weekly chart. Then this is the week. This is the candle for last week. So if we were at the weekend, we would have been calculating the last candle, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So once you're at the weekend, you calculate the last candle. So what we do is to ignore this new candle now because the market has already opened. So this is what you do every weekend. So we get to our crosshair again. This is my crosshair. I drop it there. So now I can see my high low close. My high is 1.13304. My low is 1.12089. While my close is 1.12168. So since we have the 3 values, we go straight to our calculator to calculate all the 3 values. So our high is 1.13304 plus 1.12089 plus 1.12168 equal to this. Then divide by 3. So this becomes our weekly pivot value, which is 1.1252. Then we go back to the chart. Now these are chart. This is the weekly. We go to the daily. Then on the daily, you pick the crosshair fresh. Ignore this. So this for the daily. For the daily, the high is 1.12490. Low is 1.12029. You can confirm these values later on.
Yeah.
The close is 1.12117. So back to the calculator again. This will have those values. Our high is 1.12490 plus 1.12029 plus 1.12117. Then you divide by 3. What did I do? I think I made a mistake. Okay, let me start all over again. 1.12490 plus 1.12029 plus 1.12117. Now divide this sum by 3. So we have our daily pivot is 1.1221. We're just working with 4 decimal places, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
I want to quickly show us stuff before we continue. On these daily charts, this is the monthly, this is the daily chart. Back to the daily chart. Um, so when we say high, low, close, let's quickly identify. I don't want to assume that you know. And for those that will watch the video afterwards, for instance, this is a bullish candle, right?
Yeah.
And this is a bearish candle.
Bearish candle.
Now, the bulls have an upward direction, while the bears has a downward direction. So since the bulls have an upward direction, the bull tends to open at this level and close here, right? While the
Yeah.
bears tend to open here
Open up
and
and
close
close
here.
down.
So the information is very bright. And then on this bear candle, we still have the high, which is the normal high, and also this one returns the high. So back to this. This is the high value. Here is the open value, and
Yeah.
here is the close. Why here is the low.
Low. Yeah.
So now for the bull, here is the open, right?
Yeah.
Here is the close. Here is the high. Why here is the low. So sometimes you may need to identify it manually. So if I'm dealing with the bear candle, if I say high, low, close, with this is the bear candle. So if I'm dealing with this bear candle, I should pick this high, low, and close value, add them up, and divide by 3. Right? Now, if I'm dealing with
Yes.
this bullish candle, what I do is to get this high value, get the low value, get the close value for the bullish. Now divide, try to mute yourself, please. Divide by
Okay.
3. So I just have to identify this candle before we could forge ahead. So now let's quickly insert the pivot values. Now these pivot values, we insert them with horizontal lines. Now let's start with the monthly. For the monthly, we are going to choose our colors that we can easily differentiate. So we just pick a horizontal line. Look how I got it. You can drop it anywhere. There's no problem with that. You double click on it by highlighting. Then you right click, go to the horizontal line properties. Then you can decide to call it monthly pivot. So we have the parameters. That's why you put, these are monthly pivot 1.2288. You put in the value. This is the visibility visualization. Let it show in all time frames. Okay with that. Then for choosing the color, we can decide to agree what we want the color to be. So maybe we are saying, okay, let it be pink. Let it be the pink that is already showing. This is pink. This is where we choose the color. So we've already chosen pink. then we say okay because we've put the value. So the line will automatically go to where the value is supposed to be 1.228. Let's confirm. I think there is a mistake. 1.2288. Let's recalculate, please, for the monthly. I think there's a mistake somewhere. Let's go to the monthly. This is the crosshair. Let's get the values. The high is 1.4472. Low is 1.1175. Okay, that was that particular one compared about 1.12168. Okay, let me just work with 4 decimal places and omit the last ones. I think that could give us some level of clarity. So now let's go to the calculator once more. Let's say the high shouldn't be 1.44. That's the mistake. Let me go back to the chart. I think I figured out the mistake. The high should be 1.14472. Okay, that's the mistake. Thank you because you dictated it early enough. Then is 1.4. There should be 1 here. So that was the actual mistake. So back to the calculator. It's 1.144 1.14472 plus 1.11752 plus 1.12168 equal to this, then divide by 3. Okay, this is 1.127, approximately 79, 1.12797. Okay, let's go with 1.1279. Let's cut off the other ones. So back to our horizontal line. So for this, you can decide to stay on a lower, back to this. So I double click to ensure that it's highlighted. So look at where you will see that it is highlighted. And when you double click, watch out for this place. So that's where you see that it's highlighted. So when it is actually highlighted, you right click on it, then go to properties. This is the value that we want to change. 1.1279. That's nice because it's almost the mid value of the candle that we're looking at. It's almost the mid value of this candle that we're looking at. So that could be another level of confirmation. Then let's decide for our weekly. So I go get the horizontal line, drop it anywhere I want to drop it, then edit it. I've shown you how to edit it. The weekly pivot is 1.1252. I can decide to choose another color for the weekly. This is lime green. So I say lime green is for the weekly. Then I write it down. So we all can decide to say this is the color that we keep choosing. So the description, I can call it can be weekly pivot line. So that's for the weekly. The parameters have been inputted, visualization, all time frames. Okay to that. So I have the weekly. Then for the daily, now remember that this is the candle for Tuesday, this is the candle for Monday, and this was the last candle. So this would have been the candle we should be calculating during the weekend. Why these candles were never in existence. So right now,
That means the value we took will not be correct. I think we
not
took
correct, but
the second to the last. Yeah.
they not really saying the value will not be correct, but it gives you an idea that pivot value keeps changing as the market keeps moving. So that means when you are in a new week.
Okay, yeah, that would be okay. That would be okay for yesterday.
Yes. So that tells you that early today you should change your daily pivot value.
Yes.
So when you go into a new week, you change for the new week. Then when you go into a new month, you change for the new month. So but let's stick to what we have. Let's still use second to the last. Because we are working on today, let's get the pivot for yesterday. Is that clear? Let's not work as though we're working from the weekend. Because if we are clearly on the weekend, this one remains constant because these are monthly. The month has not changed. The week has not changed, but the day has changed. So let's work with the current day. So, but let me but let me be sure of what we actually calculated. If it's this second to the last. Okay, that was what we calculated. But at least we've been able to clarify that is the pivot for so yesterday. Yesterday. So let's get the color for that to clearly let's say something like this. Turquoise. So maybe we can strictly stick on these colors and follow it up. The parameter is on 1.1221. The visualization is all time frame. We call it daily pivot line. I'm gonna run so that Zoom will not cut us out. So now let's ignore this daily pivot first, because I'm going to show you how to trade with it. So why the market has not opened? We already had the monthly pivots, pink and the lime green here, and price. These two were not in existence as at then. Is that clear? So we already saw that price was below the two pivots. Though for the daily could be somewhere here, but let's ignore daily for now. So how do you decide your trade with this pivot? Since price is above the monthly weekly, it gives you an indication that you are bearish because it is below. So you are bearish. So you can only change your bias when the market breaks that range. So let me clarify it a bit. So what actually happens more is that you only saw that the price had to retest, so it didn't touch. It came around there. No. Let me not make that mistake. It saw that price because this is Friday. So you saw that the price actually, all the price could do was just to retest, and it went down. So it didn't break. So which I told you something. Let me still go back. You have to be sensitive about the pivot. From the definition, we said that pivot price or pivot point refer to turning points in the market. So that is what you have to hold on to. So there is a clear reaction that you have to see on the chart at your pivot values. Is that clear? So now, since it's trading below, you are bearish. So now, let me not talk about the past. Since the market is on, let me approach it with what is going on now with the market. So let me say this is my weekly chart, and I see that the pivot, okay, this today, I can see that the pivot for my daily all just showed that is all down. So what I will actually do now, if I'm taking trades with the pivot, I've gotten the pivot for monthly, weekly, and daily. So what I will do is now, first of all, let me look at the pip difference from the daily to the current price. This is the daily to the current price. They're about 35 pips here about. So since I'm working with the monthly, weekly, daily, so what I'll actually do is looking at the middle time frame, that's which is the weekly. And when I look at there, it has already broken below. You can employ an indicator, which is known as the zigzag. Let me get rid of the indicator first. Let's work without an indicator. So now that you have the pivots placed and you're already bearish on this pair, so what you do is to just watch out for entry points as lower time frame to enter. So even if you want to continue in the sell, you cannot trade with your daily H4 and H1. So even if you want to continue in the sell at this point, you can only have your stop loss somewhere here, a bit below it. So that is 30 pips risk you're taking for you to sell the pair at this point. But since we say that this is actually a turning point, so most times you may not just actually sell, but what you do is you can have a sell pending order there instead of just selling. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, because all you are doing is to manage risk. But I told you that the best time to take pivot values are during the weekend, because it will help you, even if you are taking out on a Monday, it will help you to take the opposite direction and hold it for a long time. So now, because something like that happened around here, let me get the crosshair so that you can get it clear. Here is was last week, and here is the new week. So like now, the market gap was somewhere here. Let me use the yellow, right? If you watch closely here, that's where the market gap is during the weekend. Okay, look at it. This was here. Now, since you have the pivot prices on your chart, it will help you monitor your trade. Now, remember we said that here is for our monthly, here is for our weekly, and this is the current daily. So already, when we had this open here, which I've been giving you I'll be showing you what a flag looks like. So if you were to buy, just like you saw the market open, it's already giving you the bullish strength, and there's a support here through the course I gave you how to get key levels, which is 1.12210 is a key level. You see that the pivot was even was powerful enough to get a key level. I'm back to the WhatsApp group. I'm seeing how I can get to that key level, because all we are doing is we are integrating systems to be able to trade price action correctly. Because you don't just decide your trades with just the key level. We said look at Euro USD currently at the support 1.1214. 1214 the support. So just with that information we had, because that analysis was done during the weekend. So this is 1221 is even higher because you have 14. That means from that level of 1214. So you see it was here. We had the key level here, and the market was on that support, and it had a gap. So it was enough for you to sell and take your profits, because now your pivot lines becomes your take profit levels, because since we were able to have that key zone here, price was residing here apparently. But this is that 1.124. So here now becomes your first trade profit level. Remember that these are not just line, they indicate zone. This zone becomes the next take profit level. And I remember what I told you, once you take that trade, it takes off. It takes off. What you do is to break even. Don't always want to make all the money at once. You break even. You break even. So once you break even, the trade continues. And you know that there will be a reaction, because you have a pivot. There will be a reaction here. So what you do is to take profit. Or you can decide to hold on. If you don't want to take profit, you can decide to encroach your break even once more, because you are anticipating that it's going to break and continue again. So it's either you take profit at the first level, or you break even, lock up some profit and allow, and that means you are now risking here. So now what price actually did was to come to that pivot level. We said pivot levels are turning point. It had to turn. It started dropping. So you that trades pivot, since you saw what happened and it started turning, it gives you an indication that your price for the week, because that is actually happening on a Monday, it tells you that that point is a turning point for that market. So remember that if you are trading pivot, you are taking minimum risk, because once it turned here, even if you are down here and you want to risk into that trade, this is 15 pips. You can risk 20 pips on 0.01, and you can lose barely, you can be losing as low as $1.5. So these are good risks to take. So once you are in that trade and you are risking that money, you see that it keeps dropping. So one thing with pivot trading, you close your trade at your take profit levels. That's where you close your trade. You close your trade at your take profit levels, or you break even. You don't just see little profit and close, no. Because you are looking at how to hold a particular trade. Because if you are now using a low lot size, that means you need enough pips to make the kind of money that you are looking out for. And there's a video I created how I was able to, within a week, I was able to push 0.01 long into making up to $100. Not one trade, please, up to 6 of them, but risk management. Because when you break even a particular trade, you've actually made that trade risk-free. When I take a sell and I break even, once I break even, the trade becomes risk-free. I have nothing to risk. So that means I can now add up positions. So not just adding up positions in your account without stop loss and all that. So with this, you can just have little stop loss. So far so good. If you were able to do it on that Monday, you would have been on this. We have been because pivot trading helps you to identify the swing highs and the swing lows because these things are swings in the market. What you are looking at, they are swings. We keep revealing this pivot, and this is the first approach. You have to watch the video. These are swings, swings. You know, you can continue to create swings. Maybe when it comes to this daily, it can give you a turning point again. Which, if it's someone that is trending, you might say this is a higher low, and lower low, or a downtrend and all that. So, but they are all saying the same thing, provided that you are giving it the interpretation that is required. So now for the pivot trading, as we are here, either you are buying or you are selling. Even if you want to sell, let's assume you want to sell, because either ways you are not wrong, because you are having a minimum risk. Even if you want to sell more down, you have 25 pips of risk, 25 pips of risk, or let's call it 30 pips of risk. You are looking at the market to retest and continue. So you can decide to minimize the risk to the extent that you now have a pending order here, somewhere here, then now have 15 pips or 17 or 20 pips. You're not adding up, you're not having a pending order here. Why do you consider that? You have to consider it because of the flag that the market is building here. So even if the market will want to crawl down, it can give you an up move first, then give you another one, correct? Before it can continue to the downside. So, but if it gives you a very strong flag, it might not see trying to lie low here before the upside. So this is another way of looking at the structure. But now pivot trading helps you in the sense that even if you don't know the structure, you know nothing about structure, you can close those values and use those values to approach the market. Even whenever the trade takes you out of the market, you're going to lose less than $2. I bet you, because most times the stop loss are going to see here are 30 pips, 25 pips, 20 pips, 15 pips, low risk. Then you have trades to hold on. So this is a very, very simple approach, and it's been done at weekends, because once you do it at weekend, you can easily identify the market. So I put on your audio, just ask little question. Put on your audio, ask little question. Then we can pause and continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a very good intro first for you.
Yes, yes. I'm actually flowing with it.
Okay.
So what it is now is the little challenge I kind of have is identifying the flags. Most of the time, I think it's because of my device. Actually using a phone.
Okay.
So yeah, so when I turn, does not it does not give me this full view of the chart the way I'm seeing it now.
Okay.
So and it affects how I want to analyze it.
It affects your trading
Sometimes
decisions.
if I want to take, yes, sometimes when I take levels, those levels, for me to now identify the key levels, that the one I need to leave, and then the one I need to take out, maybe the one that is not holding very much.
Okay.
Okay, but with this one now, with this pivot now, basically is that since pivot are turning points, if the price if price is below it now, or if price even is going to go up, I know that okay, when it gets to the pivot, I should watch. It is that going to test and take up, or it's going to come down.
Okay. That's a very great observation. So even looking at these pivots, you see that these lines are levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are levels to watch out for. So like even on the daily, though it has broken down, but it's not all that exhaustive. The market is still calm. So if you are to take a trade on this, which I told you earlier on, The minimum risk you can do is to have a pending order here, a sell pending order, a little below here.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
Then
Yes, sir.
this is 15 pips risk. Why are you having the pending order a little bit below? Because sometimes it may not touch that turning point because it's a zone.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a zone, yeah.
it's a zone. So the turning can happen around it, not actually there. So that's why you can have a little bit below so that it can trigger the trade. Then from the a little bit below, you can now have like 15 pips stop, which is just enough. 15 pips is okay. It's a tight stop loss. But what you are expecting is just for the market to actually make that little move. Pass it a little bit, not up to your 15, then continue. Are you getting me? So, but if it now goes and
Yes, sir.
takes you out, you don't have to feel bad that it has taken you out. You just, it tells you that something is going to happen, because if it takes you out and it tells you that something like this may happen. Someone may say, what if something like that doesn't happen and something like this happens? It forcefully goes. Yeah, you're not in the trade, you're not in that big move. That's okay. But once you keep practicing the strategy, you will be able to harmonize yourself. You'll be able to know what to do. You must not always be in all the big moves, but you are always risk conscious. I don't know if you get, because
Yes, sir.
if you have to do it out of 10 trades, you are very sure that in 3 trades you'll be in the big move. So now someone may say, hey, I was not in this big move, even though I sold, it took me out and it came down. So also at the same time, calculate that what if this big move was this big move? That means if you were selling from here or from here and without that stop, and this is a whole change of trend. Even if you are seeing pullbacks, not the pullbacks, it can pull back and continue, it can pull back 3 legs, not the kind of pullback that may want to return you back to here. And one thing with having drawdown in your accounts, once you start having drawdowns, trying to manage this drawdown, you accumulate more drawdown and all that, and you may tend to lose the account. So, but this is a simple approach that you can go over and over again and practice. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yes, sir. I'll learn. I'll try to insert it on my phone. But
Okay.
from what you did now, I can actually do it on system. At the moment, my system is not in order, so
That's
I'm
what I'm
just
saying.
using my
This pivot trading now can actually work perfect for you on your phone,
okay.
because you're only doing mathematical calculations,
Yes.
and those calculations will actually give you the value where to place the lines. So you do not actually need to, how will I explain? You don't actually need to identify the line yourself. These values are placing the line for you. So let me just add the last thing, and I think I should um, get the recording. Any more question?
None for now. Maybe in course of practice.
Yes. So let's say for the monthly, let me add it so that whenever we review the video, the information will be there for us. So for monthly, stick to the topic, please, so that we
Yeah.
can actually communicate. Weekly, we say it's line green, and the daily is top price. So thank you very much. Have a pleasant moment.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So bye for now.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, sir. Thanks. You have a good day, sir.
you too.
Are we having any session in the evening or till tomorrow?
If we will have, I'll drop the information.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
yeah.